My journey with Fujifilm started during XT1 times. The initial lenses that I used to try on the telephoto range was the 100-400. Then I also got the 200mm f2 lens. That's the lens that I own and I primarily depend on that lens. As a sports photographer who shoots in very unpredictable light, I'm always looking for the f numbers of the lens. And anything that doesn't read 2.8, I start getting paranoid that it's not going to be very effective for my work. But now, well, when we tried it out here, when the kids were playing cricket, it just performed amazingly well. I mean, I find the sharpness and detailing super fine. I mean, super cool. Considering it's a f5.6 lens, the separation is like a teleprime, whereas the detailing is as good as any of the lenses that I use. I can share some pictures of bowlers bowling here where their shoelaces will be as sharp as the ball in their hand. They're all not in the same plane, whereas you have everything really, really sharp. Considering that you're shooting 762mm in a 35mm equivalent, that's pretty sharp. For somebody who's been shooting 400-ish range all my life, suddenly shooting 762mm is a little bit of getting used to. Apart from that, it's a super powerful range, ideally used for large field sports like cricket here. 762mm, there's no way I can hold it in one hand in a typical scenario. And my body already has, this is the X-H2s body with the vertical grip on. There are 3 batteries in, and I'm still managing to hold it with one hand. It's super convenient, it's super light. I cannot do this, so that's not going to happen with my 200. I'm never going to even try that with my 200mm. So yeah, I don't get a chance to carry this kind of a range to shoot cycling, simply because the lenses are too heavy and then I can't stabilize it on the moto. Whereas here, it's super easy because all I have to do is flip the switch on and then turn back in whatever direction I want. The lens is light, and it gives me 5.5 stops of stabilization on the lens, and then the body also gives me stability as well. So the pictures are just super sharp without me trying too hard. I can be really far away from the action, I feel safer, and then I can frame and compose a lot cleaner. It's fast. And I have 30 frames on my body as well, so I can choose my right frame accordingly. You compress the whole landscape in a beautiful way, and you get to see situational data and context of what's happening on a cycling field. There is a guy breaking away in front, and there is a whole bunch of peloton in the back trying to chase them down. It's not like one guy is super sharp and everybody is butter smooth in the back. I have some contextual data of what's happening in the background as well. So that way, the 5.6 actually helps me a lot here. But apart from that, the tracking ability with all these new generation lenses that Fuji is making is insanely fast. If you can point it to the subject, it's really, really fast. The 762mm, you need to point in the right direction. Half the time, I'm just struggling to find where I am pointing because whatever you're shooting is very far. Most of the stuff that I shoot are erratically moving subjects. Subjects who are moving from right to left with random people coming in the way. Focus locks in largely fast. The only time it kind of jumps is when you have a situation where something comes in the way. That is a situation that will come in any lens. I compare this lens with a lot of other faster lenses. It's not a slouch. It's really, really fast. For a photographer who's starting out in wildlife and sport, this is a super affordable lens at the price of $3,000 in the market right now. Any of the other teleprimes are way, way more expensive for somebody who's starting out in either wildlife or in sport.